Hope all you swabbies are still awake, though I don't know how you could sleep with that going on. Late Night Mega here. We're back with 35th place. It's by Yoshiatam. It's Bunker 20XX with an average score of 63.25. Look who didn't like this stage. Okay, let's get into this because I'm sick of hearing that thing. Okay, well, those enemies were for decoration as we're going in. That's an interesting use for them. Introduction to the enemies. Introduction to those cutter gimmicks from Mega Man 1 on the Game Boy. Introduction to the spiders. Okay, everything's been introduced. Let's get to something. This reminds me a lot of Edgar's stage right now. How did that even happen? Was I not, like, clearly far enough over to the... It looked like I hit the ledge and then I slid down. I never pushed left during all of that. Well, it gives me a chance to do this slightly better. Oh, but only slightly. I'm not a fan of those, rolling cutters. Okay, well, that's an interesting challenge. I mean, granted, you can negate it completely. Why do we need darkness? Oh, look, unlike the other darkness-themed level, this one actually has danger in it. Actually, can I... Although my flame mixer doesn't light things up. Uh-oh. I am having minor issues. Minor issues being death. Didn't make a checkpoint yet. Okay. So we're looking at damage-based challenges here. Well, I mean, there's been spikes, but... you know... Ouch. This is a really neat room. I like that challenge. Takes a little bit of pinpoint dodging to overcome. Ah! These guys are just constantly spawning, which I guess isn't bad. Well, they're not constantly spawning. That's what I needed. That's what I needed last time. Alrighty. And there's the checkpoint. And I died right before it. And that challenge can be just completely evaded. Those guys I don't mind. I kind of like them. I think there was another stage where I didn't like them, but I think it's because they had, like, they took multiple hits. Okay, now this stuff up here, squish those spiders with missiles. It's the appropriate way to kill spiders. Well, also fire is, you know, also appropriate. Actually, any method of killing spiders is appropriate. We'll demonstrate the fire. I thought I was on the platform. Well, I guess I wasn't. It feels like I had the same thing happen to me again, where I was on the platform and then I just, like, inexplicably just slid down. Ouch. And there's how you handle that if you don't want to use missiles. Or anything fun. I feel like this stage could use a little bit more checkpointing, because this is... The spiders are revealing where the platforms are. I know, I don't like this. And I don't like how much backtracking I have to do. This is kind of a lot of, like, mostly just running and gunning stuff. I just feel like there's a lot of redoing these sort of things. Okay, fine. Maybe it'd behoove me to just leave you alive. It doesn't behoove me to leave you guys alive, though. That's a cool use for the grenade guys. I didn't know they could be like one-shot light up the room. That's unique. I dislike this just as much as I disliked it in Mega Man. How am I supposed to dodge all that? I'm sure there's probably a way. Oh, hello! Why is Bomb Man doing 1,000,000 damage? I'm gonna try to fight these guys with the Buster. I do like double boss fights. Move your butt, Toad Man! Okay, I almost got one of them there. It seems like Bomb Man is a little bit easier to kill. He has a bit more of a weakness to the Buster. And Toad Man... just being a huge pain. The strategy is just shoot Toad Man when you have to, and then we'll deal with Bomb Man. Yep, that was a strategy. That was an interesting challenge double boss fight. That gets bonus points from me. Can we get that guy? Thank you. Off the screen. Bunker 20XX. I was still half expecting Enker. Honestly, this level starts out okay, but the longer it goes on, the better it gets. The darkness gimmick starts off okay, where it's more of a nuisance than anything, but after playing the end of the level I appreciate it way more. The whole level switches between fast and slow, which is a neat feel. Anything with the super cutters is, I guess the other gimmick must have been darkness then. That's what that was. Okay, anything with the super cutters is fast, since it's most of the time easier to just rush through them, whereas you take the darkness slowly and it works well. It keeps the level from being too slow or boring or too fast and exhausting. It feels really good to play, and even if the last section is tricky, it feels really rewarding when you pull it off. I think there should be more checkpoints. I think there should be 2 more checkpoints. Like, have a checkpoint after each of those long segments. Because, yeah, having to replay some of the stuff you've played to get back to, like, that last darkness stretch is... it was just too much to replay. There was some really cool stuff going on, especially with the walking grenades in the darkness. Yes, that was cool and very well executed. More of that would definitely not have hurt the level. Maybe even put the cutters into the darkness. That could have worked. What didn't work, though, were the blind jumps where the only gauge were the spiders on the bottom of the platforms. I wasn't a big fan of that. Maybe I'm just bad, but I had a hard time guessing where to jump. I did too. This level has an awful lot of enemies. It was very run and gunny, but this is not a 41 out of 1. You're fired again for like the 18th time this playthrough. I think it's been more than that at this point. It feels like on every screen, at least 3 enemy types are being used simultaneously, often without proper introduction beforehand. All the enemies were properly introduced. Now, I'm not a hardliner when it comes to enemy introductions, and I think it's entirely possible to have a good level where assets are used together at the start, rather than laboriously introduced one by one. This level does not do a good job at that. It's one thing to say, have Togaheros wafting by harmlessly-ish while you're introducing enemies. It's another thing to have Hothead show up over a pit of spikes while you're being chased by a Dar Spider. You're supposed to shoot the Dar Spiders, not be chased by them. Honestly, while it's tempting to say the level's problems are due to enemy spam and move on, I think it's much more problematic that so many of the enemy types in this level require space to maneuver in order to avoid getting hit. But more often than not, they're placed in spaces with, e.g., low ceilings over spikes, or in tight hallways full of cutters. I've never struggled with hotheads so much as I have in this level. This level, perversely, seems to get easier towards the end. What the heck level did you even play? Again, I'm just... This is partially because by the time you reach the halfway point, you've acclimated to the enemies everywhere. Weirdly though, the 2 halves of the level feel like mirror images, except that the second half of the level has some screens which are markedly easier than their equivalents in the first half, say the staircase room before the darkness section. And of course, this level that goes ham with enemy placements has a dual boss. Thankfully, this is one of the more tolerable setups, using 2 fairly easy bosses with similar attack strategies. To conclude, this level's very extra and probably would have benefited from some restraint. You could benefit from better playing capability. Alright, frames. The thing about using Quickman lighting is that you have to reasonably be able to see what's ahead of you for more than half a second at a time. Once using Quickman stage itself, the only real obstacles are the hotheads themselves, so it's easy to feel your way out if it does get dark for too long. here there are other obstacles, and it's never really a puzzle about not killing the hothead. They're almost always positioned right in your way so that the lights are going to go out, and you just kind of have to deal with that. Though I did like how later on you started using other means, such as the spiders to have a tell where the floor was. Meanwhile, certain rooms felt way too crowded with enemies, the super cutters placements are more obnoxious than anything else, and there's really nothing fun about fighting two bosses in a cramped room. That was not a cramped room, that was a normal-sized room. And that was fun. You could also benefit from being able to play Mega Man better. On the bright side, the stage length was healthy, and I do appreciate some of the ideas used, such as the grenades turning on the lights for a brief moment. Some problems to iron out here and there, but there's definitely a solid foundation here. What was I gonna... Oh, I know what I was gonna say. So, here Freemus is kind of complaining about, you know, having other obstacles and instant death in the darkness areas when the lights are out. Well, I do think that is kind of an issue around the spider area. I don't dislike the concept in general, because I don't want another stage like we had with the crashing in the dark, where, okay, you don't turn the lights on, but you never really have to because there's no death pit, there's no real danger. You can just go through it without having the lights on, no problem anyways. And then it leads to something that's just kind of boring and easy. Whereas this stage did keep my attention, so I am glad that it's placed above the crashing in the dark, at least. I love reading old dusty books, but they make me sneeze. Have you ever seen a Fire Telly sneeze? Well, it certainly gets rid of the dust in the book. Oh, computer. Using the Doodly decimal system? Ask the dude who organized the shelves. This does not seem like an efficient system. Alright. Oh, we have the lift you up gravity from Mega Man 9. Wonderful. And springs. Springs are fun. With that enemy, and that enemy, and that enemy. Okay. Well, we'll see what that's all about next time, so for now, I'll take my leave.